Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to look at the Arsenal player ratings versus Burnley and look at how the Gunners got on individually in their Premier League clash at Turf Moor as Arsenal secured a vital 1-0 win. So the first person on the list is Aaron Ramsdale, and he was given the nod again as the 23-year-old was largely solid in goal. And in terms of one shaky moment where he flaps at a cross and a poor clearance from the back were the only two blots on his copybook, Arsenal fans seem to have really taken to him, and I think he is much better when it comes to his performance to Bernd Leno, because when it comes to Bernd Leno, he doesn't try to be risky with his play, but I like Aaron Ramsdale's ability to control the corners, I like his ability to control his box, and he gets a 6 for his performance. Next up we got Takehiro Tomiyasu. Another solid display from the Japanese international. He offers Arsenal far more balance in the defence, not afraid to be patient in possession either, and did okay on the other occasion when he got forward. Another fan favourite. And Tomiyasu's ability to be very humble, very hardworking, and doing anything he can for the team is something that will be very useful for Mikel Arteta, and I think he will be a success in an Arsenal shirt when we have to hopefully he doesn't get any injuries and he remains a success. So the next person on the list, and Tomiyasu gets a 7 for his performance. Next up we got Ben White, and he had some early moments where he struggled a bit under the aerial pressure from Burnley, but grew into the game on that front. What's worrying is how poorly he dealt with the pressure on the floor, and on another day he could have well been given away a penalty. And there were some moments where he did look a little bit rash. The £50 million is something that is maybe going through recycling his head, but I think there was moments where he did look a little bit awful, and I do not want to be harsh, but for his performance he deserves a 5. Next up we got Gabriel Magalhaes, a dominant display from the Brazilian who dealt well with the physical threat posed by Burnley's two strikers, recognised when to engage and when to drop off as he looks to have grown into more of a leader over the summer break. And I was really impressed with his ability in terms of his leadership skills. I was really impressed with the way he was handling the pressure, the way he was focused in terms of making sure that he is the number one centre-back, making himself heard and making the other players do what he tells, and I really enjoyed that, and he gets an 8 for his performance. Next up we got Kieran Tierney. A relatively quiet afternoon for the Scottish international, whose delivery from the left was typically accurate but sadly wasted given Burnley's aerial superiority at the back, and Kieran Tierney wasn't able to do what he was normally able to do in another game. But Burnley are very good when it comes to crosses. They know how to deal with crosses, and they're very well at scoring crosses as well, and very good at set pieces, so that is something that they prepared for, and it didn't suit Kieran Tierney's game, but for his performance it's fair to say he deserves a 6. Next up we got Thomas Partey. The Ghanaian just adds a different dimension to the Arsenal midfield and was excellent in the 6th position on the day. Lovely passing mixed with defensive solidity. It was a superb display, and I remember when Mikel Arteta tried this formation in one of the more important games such as the game versus Villarreal, it wasn't able to work out. But this game he looked very well in that number 6 position, something that hopefully Mikel Arteta is continuing to impress with, and I was very happy with the performance, so he gets an 8 for his performance. Next up we got the likes of Nicola Pepe, and in terms of Nicola Pepe, he had some bright moments in the first half where he did do well to create opportunities in the box, but like the rest of Arsenal's attacking players, he faded in the second half, not clinical enough when on the counter, but I thought it was more of a relaxed game from the likes of Nicola Pepe. I don't see that urgency, that determination after we got that 1-0 game, and it was more of a lackluster performance by Nicola Pepe, but he was able to create some bright moments when he was asked upon. But overall for his performance, I think it's fair to say he deserves a 6. Next up we got Martin Odegaard. The Norwegian's free kick goal was the highlights of a sublime first half performance in which he knitted together the Arsenal attack well, faded big time in the second half though as the Gunners' influence on the game began to wane. But in terms of Odegaard, I think he did have a very good performance. He was able to show what he's capable of, and that left foot is something that will cause problems to other clubs as they look at his left foot, and he was able to orchestrate play in my opinion, and I thought he was really good in terms of that goal, and it was very good technical ability which I do see in him, and he gets a 7 for his performance. Next up we got Emil Smith-Rowe, a relatively anonymous display from the 21-year-old who did have one chance but couldn't influence the game much apart from that before going off with injury. And in terms of Smith-Rowe, I think it might have not suited with him playing as more of a number 8 where he's more or less a number 10. But when it comes to Smith Rowe, he'll learn to adapt. He knows how to score goals from midfield, and that's something that I was impressed as we were able to get some goals in midfield. And hopefully, we're able to see the best of Emil Smith Rowe, partnering the likes of Martin Odegaard, and he gets a 6 for his performance. Next up, we got Bukayo Saka. Not the best game for the England international, who did admittedly win the foul for Martin Odegaard's free kick. Looked to grow more frustrated as the game went on. I don't know if it's because the likes of Kieran Tierney are blocking his potential of becoming a success in that left winger position, or if he needs to go on the opposite flank because it suits him more. But when it comes to the likes of Saka, there was that one piece of brilliance where he got that free kick and he showed that he's capable of succeeding, and that's what he definitely done. And I was really impressed of the way he was able to get that free kick, and he gets a 6 for his performance. Next up, we got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Was involved in the first half and showed good leadership in calling out Anthony Taylor during a few of Burnley's rough tactics. Couldn't really get into the game in the second half, and the game was not clinical enough on the counter. But we will be able to take that, even though we know what Aubameyang's going through. He wasn't able to get that goal, even though he does have a very good record against the likes of Burnley. We have to move on. We got the 1-0 victory, an important goal from a midfielder, and for his performance he deserves a 6. Now we got the midfielders, and first of all we got the likes of Albert Sambi Lokonga. He lacked a bit of positional awareness when off the ball that is typical of his youth. Some nice moments in possession though that showed where his strengths lie. And in terms of Sambi Lokonga, he is someone that will only develop in my opinion. And when it comes to his performance, I think it's fair to say he deserves a 6. Next up, we got Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and he came on as a replacement to Thomas Partey, and I did see him trying to show to Mikel Arteta that he wanted to be subbed off, because I don't know if he wasn't feeling well and he had some form of an injury, but he was showing that he wanted to be taken off, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles was brought in. He had a 10-15 minutes to impress what he could do, and there were moments where I thought he did carry the ball well, but he doesn't get a rating. And finally, we got Nuno Tavares, and I thought he made a very big impact, even though he came on very late for Kieran Tierney. He showed that he had a loss of energy in him. He was showing that he was one of the better players that is capable of filling in Kieran Tierney's role, and I think we might have still got a very good backup in the form of Nuno Tavares, but overall we were able to get that 1-0 victory, and I'm very happy. So we'll have to wait and see how Arsenal performs at the end of this season. If you want to see more daily videos from Arsenal News TV, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the like button so I know if you enjoyed the video, and share the video to your Arsenal friends and family. Click one of the videos on the screen and I'll see you there.